Hello, my name is Eric, or Weapons Collector Eric. A little bit about me to start off. I really like the Viking era, okay? I also like cars, specifically vintage cars. Muscle. And yeah, but more importantly, as given by the name, I like weapons a lot. And I know quite a bit about them. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you all of my current weapons that I have. Yes. There are, in total, you're gonna have to count. As time goes by and I get more weapons, I'm going to gradually show them to you, but right now, these are all that I have, okay? So we're gonna start off with my two Viking era things. They are two swords. Now, one of them is a wooden training sword. I'm going to start with that one. This is my wooden training sword. It's very sturdy and everything. It's meant for Viking reenactments. And something interesting about it that I have learned is that this groove, you can see, it's pretty deep, a pretty deep groove. Now, on both of these sides, you can actually get weights and put weights in these grooves and attach them to it. Basically, what that will do is weight the the actual sword blade, and be actually able to make it feel like a real sword. So when you're training, you can get really used to the weight of the actual sword, which is kind of a good thing. On to the next thing. This next one is my other Viking era sword. This is a leather case, leather sheath, if you will. But it is metal, but it is not sharpened. It is completely dulled down. However, it was used in Viking reenactments, which I love. As you can see, by starters, I'll start with the sheath. The sheath, as you can see, it's all leather, hardened leather and probably wood. I haven't seen into it. It's metal at the bottom though. And yeah, but it's got wood up here. And this is to put this through your belt. Loop this in your belt. And you hold it like that. It sits down like that. And that will hold it. Now, I will move on to the actual blade, which is very much real. I'm going to place that down for now. Oh, sorry. Not real. Is real metal, yes, but it is nothing. This is very interesting. As you can see from it, you can see that it is not sharpened at all. In fact, that even the tip is not sharp. Look at that. Now, if I were to hit somebody really hard, they'll probably feel it. In fact, if you hit anybody with anything, they'll probably feel it. Yeah. Basically. So yeah, that's my Viking era. All I have left is Japanese and Korean. Well, 1 Japanese and 2 Korean. 4 Korean. Believe it or not, Korean, yes. I did Taekwondo in Heirongumdo. I am currently, well, I am a black belt in Taekwondo. Shout out to Mastiang's Martial Arts Center in Latham. Great place to go. That's why I did Taekwondo and Heirongumdo. Heirongumdo is the Korean sword martial art. And there I got all the way up to be able to use the gagan. Now, I do not know what the wooden cutting sword name is. But this, I'll start off. This is a wooden cutting sword for Heirongumdo. See, it's sharpened. It's light, sharpened, but it's made out of wood, and at least it can cut paper. It can definitely cut paper. I've done a lot of it. Now, as you can see, it's very light. It's very light. I can just move it around like that. It's very, very interesting. On to what is called the mokum. Now, the mokum is the wooden form training sword. Now, as you can see, it's much thicker, much beefier, and of course, just a tad bit more heavy, but it's still the same, but it's not used for paper. It's actually used for something that is called candle snuffing and form. Now, with training and everything like that, you want to do that. Now, I will be going into a room in there, stepping out of frame. Yep, I'll be stepping out of frame in a little bit. Now, that's where that is. So, candle snuffing, I'm going to go over that real quick. Candle snuffing, I don't know if you can tell, it doesn't look like you can tell it, but basically, candle snuffing is where you're like this. Mainly you're sitting on the ground, but I'm standing right now and I don't, yeah. Basically, the candle is right there. You need to have control in order to not hit the candle, because you need to stop right before you hit the candle, but the wind, the wind that is being pushed down from this at that speed is supposed to put out the candle. Now, I have failed that, of course, once, twice, maybe a few times, but I got the hang of it. That's the main thing. Now, on to other things. Now, these are also Heirongumdo. These are what we used for Heirongumdo. Practicing for newer people. And once you get up to a certain level, you'll have 2 of these. I'll start with my first one. This one was my first one. As you can see, it is a foam sword. But you can see that there's tape on it. This is because this is my target practicing sword. Now, when you're using targets, you're hitting with targets, this is the one that you use, because this is worn down and targets aren't real people, okay? And everything. This is what you're going to use. Now, you keep one other one a little bit more pristine. This one is my other one. You can see that it definitely looks a lot more newer and everything. I know that they look like lightsabers. Okay, calm down. Calm down. They're not lightsabers. Anyways, this one is your sparring one. You would have protection and everything, and thankfully with this, the foam is all still intact. If this was going to hit you, this has the possibility of this entire casing is just covering a hard plastic pole. Okay? If this were to hit you, it has less padding. It is going to hurt. And even if this thing flings off, which I have had that happen with my sword while I was luckily target practicing, the foam portion just flew off and hit the instructor. That was a funny moment. But this is only used for sparring when you're going up against other people that have protection and everything. Now, those are those two. These are also provided to us. These are the first types of swords that you will get in Heidong Gumdo. Yeah, as a beginner white belt. Now, yeah, we ain't just beginning. Still in the Korean era. This is... no. The Sagum. This is a metal cutting sword. It is not sharpened much, but it is sharpened enough to cut paper. I got a lot of wear on it, as you can see from that tip. Anyways. Yeah, it's not much to it. It's called a Sagum. It's all very nice. Very nice. Now, the real Korean Heidong Gumdo sword is called a Jinkum. That is the heaviest metal sword. Not in the world, like the heaviest metal sword in Heidong Gumdo. This is a Gagum. This is the same principle as the Mokum, but a little bit less with the candle snuffing. This is just for form. Now, it's a bit heavier than the Sagum, and it is completely unsharpened. However, again, if you smack this against somebody, they're probably gonna feel it. Don't do it. It's not right. Now on to my only real weapon. This is the last thing that I have to show. This is my only Japanese weapon, and it is also my only real metal sharpened one. You may be wondering, well, what the heck is it? What type of polearm have you heard that is Japanese? That has this big of a blade. Huh? Yes, this is real. In fact, I don't think I have any paper with me. But it is completely real. Everything. Yeah. as you can see from it. It's very, very interesting to have this thing on hand. Yeah. Anyways, that is pretty much it. I hope you have a nice day. And goodbye.